Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, however did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
What are we...
Let us
What are we...
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get... Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name... We are investigating the theft...
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favour for a...
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. And that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet...
They were rare and exceptional. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glass house. We only learned of their disappearance the evening...
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be...
Well, if you don't mind.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself, but occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met, and Miss White.
Here it is. This is the place where the stolen plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he died here just 2 days ago.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The two of you were good friends?
He was my father.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house?
Holmes?
Yes, just here, near the door to the Colonial Collection. He suffered a heart attack. Just like that. So suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
What should we... What...
Here is a list of the...
Do not...
The plants were here. All of them were stolen. According to Albert, this is where his father, Montague Dunn, was found dead. Soil. The soil on the side... Fragments of a flower. The traces are... These boot marks are... The footprints reveal... The door was smashed at shoulder... This door handle is new. This pot was... A flower pot recently fell down from the... The ensconce. The door was forced from the inside of the Colonial Collection room. The handle was...
I think...
These trees, with their roots in water, must originate from Louisiana. This sign... Blood. Someone fell All the clues around here are quite... This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection room.
He was in a panic, or the door was... I think we need to inspect the Colonial Collection room.
According to
Can I help you, gentlemen? Yes, but part-time only.
You're following in your...
Well, even if botany is not my strong...
Thank you, young man.
Excuse me, excuse...
Harm.
What should...
Albert told us about the tragedy.
Tragic indeed.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue.
Just be careful. Just...
Colonial Director's Office. Nursery. Seed. Ventilation. Dry. Water lily. Harm. Colonial Reserve. Colonial. A map. Locked.
What should we do next?
Locked. Nursery. Locked. Nursery. Locked. Seed. Locked. There is a smell of... Locked. Seed. A ventilations. A ventilation. A water. The symbol is... a protect...
Someone set it.
The remain... The plants were set... A door handle? The door handle to the colonial collection, and that of the fireplace. A broom... Dry tropic. These flower pots are beautiful. The symbol is... dry. According to water. These plants. Very strange. Half of the colonial collection is absent. These windows... The smell... This broken... A fragment of... Part of this group... This is one of the... I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy, then. It's ready for...
A beautiful feather. A membership card for the London. This watch. First of all, let us carry out an... There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. There is an injury to the skull. The vessels and the air from the lungs can... No redness. Nothing. Now, let us... The heart's blood vessel. The heart tissue. The stomach. There is a small amount of content. The lungs are the tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is... The liver is enlarged. The liver tissue is... My suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Q...
You mean...
Yes, it is murder.
We should inform...
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discussed...
The challenge, Holmes.
We need to locate that deadly plant.
Murder of any kind appeals to you.
No. We also have the people working at Kew Gardens.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with...
No. A few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson. It is time now to open the doors.
Even those in the staff building. I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little. Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what...
But,
You're not sure, then?
well, I am busy. I cannot be...
As Deputy Director...
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, you see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but he would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He was what some might call a man of action, I'd say. So, after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that.
You mentioned that...
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say. He had an eye for the ladies, to put...
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us...
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert...
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before. And now, I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience.
What is your opinion of...
He's useless. I often tell him so. Botany is not his life's work. And his...
He what?
Oh, yes. He forced his son to work.
Are you able to...
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making... It was with the intention of making a fool.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was... That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who was such a nice lady, and...
You mentioned a Miss...
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah,
Why naive?
the way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunn. And he... How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish.
Just...
Farmhouse. Water lily greenhouse. Locked. 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 Who is Miss...
Ah, she is the young lady. In fact, she should be here today.
We know...
Ah, at the...
I...
Yes. I cannot say that. But now, after his death, I have to follow his path. I have to
Would you please...
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Haim... My father would not...
Indeed. That is most interesting.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my... In fact, if we are to think logically at all.
Do you not have...
I suppose so. But we have very little in common.
I see.
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious. He was convinced that my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he...
Do you...
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to...
Thank you, young man.
Excuse me.
Locked.
Just be...
There was a bottle.
Gold dust.
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks.
But why would any...
Several drops of the... The bottle is no longer here, but... Locked.
Holmes,
It does not. Open. Gloves. What?
do they grow...
It... This is a table for...
Only this... What? A phonograph used for voice recording.
Yes, this is quite... I don't hear anything. I don't hear it. I don't hear anything. I don't hear.
And it seems clear from these multiple experiments that plants should respond to their environment and have a form of
Study report.
Martin Hamish's perception of plants. The notion of communication in the plant world has long been...
A study report. Chemicals. A botany. This student's the employ. Albert's locker. Young Albert, standing with a woman in front of London University. A rejection letter from the British... Specialist article. Albert Dunn has a great passion for... Martin Hamish. Father and I. Kew Garden. A review on rare and exotic... Martin Hamish studied chemistry. Miss White's. These jewels. A vanity purse. Apparently, Miss White is a capable student. A draft of the letter. Come on, Toby. We have some work for you to do. Let us go to Kew Gardens. Oh dear, Toby. I wasn't aware that you were... A man... That is... That... That is... That... Here it is. Here it is. The Divine Syndicate is not a supplier to Q. That... Here it is. My art. Let us take Toby to the laboratory. He will pick up search. Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what you have found. This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. There is still some liquid a tiny caterpillar. Not surprising to see one in a garden. Brave. Brave. Mr. Hamish, was someone...
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
I do not think so.
But you have no right to.
Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time in the British Empire. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of 12.
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded Kew Gardens together, that was all. And it was all my father's work, for Dunn always lived the high life.
So Mr. Dunn was not helping your father?
Oh, yes, he provided the financial support. And as far as he was concerned, that fulfilled his role. But the worst of it was, he declared himself as the master of Kew Gardens. Fame meant nothing to my father, so it was easy for Mr. Dunn to take all the credit.
Are you aware...
The Divine what?
No.
What a ridiculous name.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish.
What should we...
Just be careful.
I perceive that you are...
Passionate? No, not really.
Are you quite sure?
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
And yet I know...
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say. Yes, that's... He did his best to ruin my plans. Although I almost did...
Tell me.
No.
Thank you, young man.
Excuse me, but I...
According to... According to... Dry tropics.
Look, Holmes, this charming lady must be Miss White. Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you, too. But...
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen.
Yes.
What a pleasure to see you here at Q...
Yes,
Oh,
oh, it's quite under...
yes.
Would you happen to...
No.
Do you...
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. That is how I found my chance to work here for part...
How well did you...
He was a monk.
He had...
Oh, yes, indeed. He was always so active. And
Why, sir?
he loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him.
The divine...
Not at all.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked.
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys.
Thank you, miss. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens... Someone is...
Or
What should we...
A book about These leather gloves. Materials. This place. From here, we... A ventilation.
What should...
Oh. Let us pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube to perform an... This is the bottle that... A colorless, water-based liquid. Quite a strong...
Holmes? What are you doing?
It has a bitter taste.
What if it's poison?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous...
So what...
It is some kind of organic... Small colorless crystals. Colorless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water, with a floral smell and a bitter taste. Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes.
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the...
Let me add the reagent. I need to take a pip... Red. This liquid is of organic origin. It contains... This mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying out...
What should we do? Locked. Locked.
Champagne. Champagne. French. A photograph of Montague Dunn and I suggest that we don't... newspapers.
What?
Just...
Nursery. A thesis. Glasses. This area serves as This poster is for an This certificate. We can see the interior of the colonial collection. These young... It is a bust. I am curious if the marble that we found will... Here it is. The marble fragment that we've... The seeds...
Holmes.
Ventilate. The This...
Excuse me.
There is a
A bust? Oh,
But why?
oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
It is strange.
Really? Oh, well, I have no idea. Do you have any more questions like this?
Evident. Thank you, Mr. Hamish.
Just...
Excuse...
Poor Miss.
Event.
What?
Oh, oh dear, Toby. I wasn't aware that you were... Here it is. And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect.
This place is beautiful, Holmes. It's at...
Let us find some... The Kew Garden. Good day to you, sir.
From the trace of elements and moreover, therefore,
Disturb.
there, completing this.
We are two gentlemen.
List.
We should like to...
You may say, only true devotee, and to...
Green Grand...
What is the name of our Lord, our God King?
Our God...
Oh, la, good, good.
Thank...
I pray you to take... Raw.
Do you have Fred?
None. Not worthy there.
Do you have...
None. Not worthy there.
Do you have...
None. Not worthy there. None. Not worthy there. None. Not worthy there.
Do you have...
None. Not worthy there. None. Not worthy there.
Nevertheless, we have seen...
What?
No, really now. There was a theft of plants.
No. Those plants...
How, sir?
Their director.
Done.
Yes, that's what I said. He borrowed from us, but he never gave them back to us.
I see. So, if you
No, we did not steal.
I beg your pardon.
They had disappeared. It was the least we could do.
Well, we will...
Follow.
That should be the raw...
My word, Holmes.
This must be...
Frick.
Caterpillars. They are... A tropical. These three plants are identical. A tropical plant. A tropical. A tropical. A tropical. This door. These in... of... This substance is an alcohol. This cabinet is full of chemicals. That would be... Perfect, Watson. We can begin our experiment.
What should we do next, Holmes?
I imagine that one of these... I shall begin now. Watson, if... I find the behavior of predators utterly fascinating. This plant becomes inactive after being drenched with alkaloid. It appears to have fallen inactive after being disturbed. How interesting. What a... It appears to open after being soaked with alkaloid. This plant becomes inactive. It closed again. I wonder what secrets this plant... I am interested in what might occur if the prickly plant... My word! This plant seems to have had no reaction. It appears to open after being... No reaction. This plant... It closed again. I wonder what secrets this plant is. I am interested in what might occur. Toxic gas. The plants would be capable of killing only if they...
Let us take our caterpillar.
It is too early, Watson. Our suspect... Oh, can you...
Yes, of course. He appeared
What will you do?
after paying multiple visits to Out. Suddenly I observed that Mr. I clearly...
Thank you, Mr. Hamish.
Just...
Your father's death does...
Suspicious. Well, I was working in the seed house. Ah, these lads.
Did you see?
Yes, he came here with Mr. Hamish.
And then?
Nothing. They stepped out to the... And about 10 minutes later, I saw my...
And Mr. Hamish...
Mr. Hamish visited me a couple of times, but then he ran back here to me to tell me that...
Thank you, young man.
Ex-
Nursery. Nursery. Can you...
I can. But there is... Tuesday is the day of his weekly visit.
And...
Well, he came in... After that, he ran out in the direction of the nursery. He was always in a rush during the inspection, you see.
And that was the...
Yes. I stayed in the laboratory. I joined...
What exactly...
I was recording... I only stopped my work once when...
You say you were...
Oh, sir?
Thank you, miss.
Everyone has gone, Holmes. The way is clear.
Activate the ventilation system so that they fall down. Watson, stay here and observe.
All right, Holmes.
The power is off. The engine cannot be stopped. The engine... The ventilation system is working.
Now we need to see if we can activate the fans from Mr. Hay.
Here it is. Cylinder.
These plants, classified as shrubs.
This recording seems very long. It is unnecessary. This vent... We can see the interior of the colonial collection. Perfect.
It works perfectly, Holmes. Bravo.
Perfect. Now we know how the murder of Montague Dunn was carried out.
But only from Mr. Hamish's workplace would it be possible. What should... Let's go to Scotland.
locked. Inspector, I believe...
Aha!
Very good. Inspector, I came...
Martin Hamish. Martin Ha-
What?
Mr.
Holmes, my God!
Yes. We found him like that.
Our messing around with the ventilation system didn't go unnoticed. Mr. Hamish realized that we knew.
Inspector, could you arrange the body, please? I should like to examine it. The mark around the...
Holmes, his left...
A club foot. Bravo, Watson. Something about this.
Why do you...
Why? Because of Mr. Hamish's club foot.
But, Mr...
No, I don't suppose you do. You must recall that Mr. Dunn was locked inside the club. If it was Mr. Hamish, he would have had to run...
Well, it...
Perhaps, but it is rather strange.
You mean to say...
So the suicide...
Correct. Mr. Hamish accuses only...
Possibly an accomplice?
I have another idea. Thanks to the testimony...
With a timeline. Such...
Pres-
The map at the entrance of Kew Gardens should have...
Let us analyze the facts and statements so that we may recreate the events of that morning.